Hello everyone! Today I'm going to be discussing some things that you should definitely be considering when you're looking for your colleges. So if you're starting your list and you just have no idea what factors you should be looking at and thinking about when it comes to narrowing down your school list, this is the video for you. I want to start off with... Sorry, I'm like diving right in here. I feel like I'm being very abrupt. First I want to start off with talking about stats. So this includes SAT scores, ACT scores, and your GPA. I think this is very important to look at for a school so you know if you can actually get in, if it's going to be a reach school, a target school, or a safety school for you. But with that being said, don't look at the acceptance rate. The acceptance rate tells you other people's chances, essentially. Overall, other people's chances. You want to look at your chances, and you can't focus on yourself if you're thinking about the overall acceptance rate. So only look at the stats of the school, their GPA and testing scores, and see if you could get in. Don't let yourself get stressed out by the acceptance scores because everyone's different and it really is not going to tell you if you're going to get in or not. Second, it's very important to look at the majors and the programs of the schools. If the school does not offer what you're looking for, just scratch it right off your list. You don't even need to consider it. There's websites where you can filter by major, so you can just see which one has the best courses and the best professors, the best laboratories and materials for whatever you want to learn. The location is something you also want to consider. Do you want to travel outside of your country? Do you want to stay in your country? Do you want to stay near your house so you can commute from your home? Whatever it is, only look at the schools in that area. So make sure that you know exactly what you're looking for location, and similarly, also what you want for climate, because if you kind of determine that you don't want a school in a hot climate, then you know you don't even have to look at those schools. It's a good thing to kind of sort out where you want to be, what weather you're looking for, that sort of thing. Student life may not seem as important to your education because after all you are paying a tuition for an education, but pay attention to the dorms and the dining hall reviews at the school because that's going to be where you're eating, sleeping, hanging out for 4 years. If it's disgusting food and disgusting dorms, you probably don't want to go there. So definitely look into that. See if it's a school you'd be comfortable living there from, for each day of your life for most of the year. Definitely don't forget to look at that. Another thing is the clubs at the school. Go through, usually they have a list online of the clubs that they offer, but you can go through and see if there's any you want to join because that's a factor of whether you're not going to have fun at the school that you're going to. So you can put that on your list, just type down all the clubs you'd be interested in doing so that when you compare colleges later, it's easier to tell which ones you're leaning towards more. I mean, every single detail will help count in the end when you're trying to scratch colleges off your list. Every single pro will help you realize that you want to go to this school more than this one. Now, the size of the school also matters. Do you want a big campus you're gonna have to walk across, or do you want a small one that takes 5 minutes to walk from one end to the other? Do you want a really high student population or a more intimate, close-knit one? These are all things that you can filter on websites again, and things that you should know what you want. You don't have to have a preference, but it's best to know whether or not you do have a preference and what that preference is. The average financial aid, what works best for your family, if it's need-based, if it's merit-based, it's a really good idea to start thinking about financial aid before you apply so that way you have options available to you that you can afford. The affiliations of the school, usually they make them known, so it's not like you're going to apply and not realize what the affiliations are. If your way of thinking is very different from the rest of the students there, you're not going to enjoy your time there as much. So you should definitely kind of see what the general political thoughts and religious affiliations are. The party scene. So the school I'm going to, UChicago, is renowned for being the place where fun goes to die, and I'm kind of excited for it because I don't want there to be lots of parties. I'd rather it be a more academic environment. So make sure you know what you want when you're picking your schools. Do you want a school that has no parties, or do you want there to be lots of fun and good times, work hard, play hard? That's a good thing to know going into this when you're trying to find schools that are a good fit for you. The campus itself. Sometimes a campus just feels really good when you walk on it, and other times it does not feel like home at all. And right now with COVID, obviously it's hard to travel, so if you can find virtual tours online, that's a really good idea, but if you do get to visit ultimately, that'll give you a really good feel of what the campus is. And I would highly recommend doing some form of visiting, whether virtually or in person, because it's profound how much it impacts your decision making. Check out the classes, and you can put that on your list. Does the school you're looking at have large classes, small classes? Is it the learning style that you're looking for? Again, the more details you have, the easier it's going to be for you to know which school you want to go to. Likewise, athletics. If it's a spirited school and you want to go to lots of football games, baseball games, basketball games, then you should be looking for that, because some schools really don't have a lot of varsity sports, so you should be aware of that before you apply. And then finally, safety is very important. I think all colleges are very dedicated to safety. That would be concerning if they were not, but all the same, you can check out stats on the safety, and if you don't feel comfortable, then just don't apply there. Again, most schools should be relatively safe. Lastly, a couple of other things just to help out. All of these factors that I just listed, you can find most, if not all of them, on niche.com. Go onto that website and it's so immensely helpful. It is the go-to college guide. So use that, and then also I'd recommend making a table with all this information. So list out all of your schools in one column, and then in a row on the top list out all these factors, so you can just have all the data at once to look through. You can compare them, you can highlight green and red for which factors you like and which ones you don't. It's just a really good visual tool to use. I feel like this was a very short video, but I kind of just want to get the information out there because I don't need to talk for ages about why this matters. I think it kind of speaks for itself. So hopefully these factors gave you an idea of what to look for, and it's going to inspire you to start your search for colleges. But thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and best of luck in your college search.